Hi, everybody. My name's Andre Engel, and I'm the Associate Director for Student Involvement here at UNCW. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about how to get involved at UNCW, different tools and resources, and how to kind of curate your exciting life as a Seahawk. So again, we're going to give you a couple different options, a couple different possibilities about how to get involved, but it's not comprehensive because there are so many different options and different opportunities to get you engaged and to get you connected at this university. So let's get started. Oh man, if my screen works, here we are. The Campus Activities and Involvement Center, or the CAKE office, super fun acronym. This is our physical office space. It's upstairs in the Fisher Student Center on the second floor, kind of above Einstein's. And hopefully you'll become familiar with that space. The primary goal of that office is to get students involved at UNCW. And there's a lot of things housed within that office, but essentially we call it the gateway to campus activities, involvement, and leadership as a summary because there are so many things housed within it. So student involvement and leadership, student community engagement, and fraternity and sorority life offices are all housed in this space. Student involvement and leadership is home to student organizations, student government association, leadership development programs, campus activities, and a lot more. Student community engagement provides opportunities to serve the UNCW and Wilmington community through volunteering, philanthropy, and service learning experiences. And then fraternity and sorority life is home to all of our social Greek organizations. Again, you can find us on the second floor. It's really a great space to come to if you have questions, don't really know where to start to find a place to get involved. We do have involvement specialist staff, which are student staff at that front desk, and they're your peers, but they're also trained and ready to help you find your involvement home. We also have graduate assistants working out of that office. So we're pretty covered with a lot of fantastic people that are really ready to help you get involved. That is why we're there and why we're excited to come to work every day. So why involvement? Why are we asking you to do more than just go to class? It's because we want you to elevate your UNCW experience beyond the classroom and make those memories and develop a lot of skills that go beyond your academic spaces, but also act in conjunction with them. When you get involved, you can learn new skills that are applicable to all academic and career fields. If you want to be a doctor, a teacher, artist, athletic trainer, marine biologist, the list goes on and on. All of those are awesome. But across all of those, you're going to need to know how to work as a team. You're going to need to know time management skills for sure. How to lead and motivate yourself and others is so key, really, in any field that you're going to be going into, and applying the knowledge that you've learned and your skill sets instead of just simply knowing it as fact. Involvement in whatever way you decide to take it can provide you with all of these skills. And really, beyond those skills, we want you to feel like you're connected and supported within the community. We want you to build a social network with your student peers and with colleagues, faculty and staff as well, and truly feel like you belong to UNCW. And again, build your social well-being and your support network. I know myself and my colleagues, we often have students that work across different areas, whether that's being a building manager, but then they're also within student government, or they're in Association for Campus Entertainment, but then they also work in another office within campus life. And we can really connect on those students and help make their experience a very holistically supported one, which again is one of the reasons we love our job and we love connecting with students. So just definitely reach out. So involvement examples. Involvement at UNCW can look like so many things. And here's only 10 different bubbles and different options and avenues, ways to go. But again, caveat statement, there are so many, like hundreds of different avenues, which that sounds like it could be overwhelming, right? If you're really exploring and you're thinking through all of the options, that can feel maybe a little overwhelming. And I know I certainly was as a freshman a long time ago. But try to take a breath and really feel excited about that as an opportunity. There are so many ways, again, that you can curate your own experience into a really, really unique kind of involvement tapestry. These are a couple different opportunities that students typically get engaged with. Most frequently, but again, this is just the beginning. So I'm going to go through each one of them just really briefly to give you an idea of how these work. So competitive club sports. Student athletes, there's kind of three different tiers here, right? So student athletes, students who play competitively for the official varsity athletics teams for UNCW. These students have a lot of their own programs and support networks and opportunities to get involved to support fellow student athletes and UNCW athletics. Student Athlete Advisory Committee is part of that. Right? So club sports is another tier here. That is our competitive student organizations with a little bit more of a time commitment than, say, intramural sports. So this often includes travel to other schools to compete. And the club sports are advised and coordinated out of the campus recreation area. And then finally, along with sports and athletics, leaning things, are intramural sports. So those are informal recreation leagues here on campus where students can compete against each other, rather other UNCW students, and compete for internal league championships. These leagues are also organized by campus recreation. So going into, kind of hops over a little bit, social fraternities and sororities, they're in that top middle bubble. We have 33 chapters here at UNCW, and those chapters are organized under 4 governing bodies. So we've got Panhellenic Council, National Panhellenic Council, Interfraternity Council, and United Greek Council. Now, our Panhellenic, those are social sororities. National Panhellenic Council is our historically Black and African American fraternities and sororities. Interfraternity Council are our social fraternities, and United Greek Council are our multicultural and religious sororities and fraternities. So if you ever have any questions about, which you might want to join or anything like that, again, Fraternity and Sorority Life, or FSL for short, is also housed in that Campus Activities and Involvement Center office. So be sure to come visit us. Registered student organizations, that little teal bubble to the left there. We have about 250 student organizations, not 3. About 250 currently as of August 2022. I'm sure that we'll see more in the fall, which is really exciting. So registered student organizations include fraternities and sororities. It also includes sports club councils and graduate student associations. So that's all inclusive of those. But it also includes a lot of very, very different special interest groups. We have academic clubs, we have student media, like film and journalism based groups. We've got cultural and identity based groups, performing arts, political, religious, service, some additional sports and recreation ones that are not sports club council. And again, just overall special interest, like the Beekeepers Club, the Shogi Club, Sunset Club, the list goes on and on. If we don't have a club though within the CAKE office that aligns with your interests though, once you kind of peruse WaveLink to see what you might be interested in, you can start a club. All you need is yourself and 4 friends, because we have a 5 student minimum for each organization. And the CAKE office can help you establish a club for your interests. So just reach out to activities at UNCW. .edu to kind of get started on that once you look. And again, if you're not sure or if you think maybe you're missing something, reach out to us and we'll help you navigate WaveLink, especially starting out. So student employment programs is another amazing opportunity because on-campus employment is involvement too. And it's a really great option for students looking to get involved, but are also interested in earning a paycheck as well. Many departments across campus employ students. Some examples of that are resident assistants, lifeguards, office assistants. You can be a referee, you can do program and event planning, be a research assistant, usually within academic affairs with faculty members, a projectionist within our Lumina Theater within Fisher. The list really does go on and on, which is such a beautiful thing. Our colleagues, faculty within academic affairs have different opportunities. Again, my colleagues within student affairs host a variety of opportunities within our different offices and facilities. So it's a really, really beautiful way to be involved and also continue that connection with staff members as well. You can find on-campus jobs as well as off-campus jobs and internships on Handshake, which is a platform that we're going to talk about a little bit more later and touch on. So peer-to-peer educators, which is that next little gold bubble there. We have several peer educators opportunities on this campus as well. So a lot of those are paid to learn more about a topic or an issue that you're passionate about and share that knowledge with your peers in exciting ways. So if you think that you might like to teach one day, this is a great opportunity there. Examples of some of those peer education teams on campus are our interpersonal violence and prevention peer educators, leadership educators, sustainability, health promotion. Again, the list goes on and on, lots of different opportunities there. And it's a really great way to build skills in public speaking and event planning while also learning more and sharing your passion about a topic that you really, really care about. Undergraduate research, this is another really cool avenue, particularly, if you think you're going to go on and get an advanced degree later, cool option. So research is not just for graduate students and professors. Research experience is open to students at every level, and students can partner with faculty on individual projects. They can assist on established faculty research projects, or work or volunteer for specific laboratories on campus. Again, some examples include the Trauma and Resilience Lab, the Sea Level Research Lab, ecology labs, et cetera, et cetera. There are special opportunities for first-year students, and there's also students involved in undergraduate research that have opportunities to present their research at different conferences and things, compete in competitions, earn fellowships and scholarships, and a lot more. The Honors College, so it's our far right at the top, teal bubble. The Honors College will open up some opportunities as well. There are specific courses for honors students. There's honors thesis opportunities, honors themed student organizations, study abroad, travel opportunities, etc. I know many students apply to the Honors College after beginning at UNCW and are accepted. So if you're not already part, you can reach out and see how to get involved with that. Community service up there at the top. Volunteering is a central part of the fabric of our community, and we're going to discuss that more in just a minute. But your service to the community as a Seahawk can include service-oriented student organizations, regular volunteering experiences with local nonprofits, service projects in your coursework, internships and fellowships with local community agencies, and a lot more. So again, just remember, serving your community is involvement too. There is no right or wrong way to be involved because there are so many options, just to reiterate that point. Leadership programs. So similar to community service, we're going to talk about this one a little bit more in just a minute. Purposely investing in your leadership development while you're here is an important part of your involvement journey. There's so many opportunities on campus to invest in your leadership skills needed while involved here, and then after graduation as well. So prioritize experiences through campus life and other departments to really invest in leadership workshops, leadership trainings, retreats away with other students, which are really fun, different conference experiences, etc. So again, so many different ways. How to get involved. So, I've talked to you a little bit about different options to explore, but then how do you find some of those options? You can always visit the Campus Activities and Involvement Center, aka CAKE. But what else? What would you do on your own? Two things. WaveLink and Quark. Pictured here, if you want to scan the QR code, you absolutely can and should. I'll definitely encourage that. While I explain the two platforms. So WaveLink is our student organization and events-based website at UNCW. This website's accessible to all UNCW students, and it's how you can find thousands, literally thousands of events happening on campus. This is also where you're going to find a list of our 250 plus registered student organizations, so you can kind of explore through those a little bit. Quark is the mobile app version of WaveLink. So if you're on the go, if you're in between classes, if you're having lunch in Hawk's Nest and you just need to like scroll through and see what to do tonight or what to do this weekend or whatever, this is how you find those events on the go in a mobile format. So you're going to see and hear about both platforms all throughout your UNCW experience. So definitely be sure to use them because they're really a valuable resource within all of the pages listed within WaveLink and all of the events listed within WaveLink. Those will include some departmental events because we've encouraged our UNCW departments in academic areas as well to get on there. But so many of them, the vast majority are student organizations that you can explore. And as a note, any student orgs that you see pop up, if you're searching them, those are active student organizations. Otherwise, you won't have access to see them. So definitely reach out to the students that are listed as the primary contact if you want to get involved, is a really, really good option. All right, y'all. So, never too late to get involved. That's the summary here. Never, ever too late to get involved at UNCW. There's three things that we really, I say we because collectively me and my colleagues, we really want you to keep in mind along your involvement journey. The first thing we want you to remember is that it's never too late to get involved at UNCW. Great if you do something within the first couple of weeks, if you get involved right off the bat, that's awesome. And some of you probably will, but I also know that your first semester can come with some challenges. You may just want to get acclimated to UNCW first, and that is also okay. You're trying to remember where your classes are. You're making sure you do your homework on time. You're learning how to share a room with someone you may have just met, whether you're on or off campus. Those are all really important developmental experiences, and we totally respect that. We want you to know that involvement is a year-round 365-day operation, and it's never ever too late to get started. Along these lines, we'd like you to remember that it's never too late to find something new to be involved with. Your experiences outside of the classroom should evolve over time because it's a journey. You'll be introduced to new things over the next couple of years. You'll also try and find things, and maybe some of those things won't be a good fit, or you need to move on from certain experiences. That is completely normal and thoroughly encouraged. For example, you may try an interest meeting for an organization and not really get the feel that it's absolutely right for you. So instead, you attend the annual Seahawk Leadership Week this fall in October. You meet an upperclassman there who invites you to become a member of ACE, the Campus Activities Board. That gives you the experience to land an on-campus job in campus life, which introduces you to the mentor, which connects you for an internship. And that internship leads you to a full-time job after graduation. That's just one of so many different avenues that you could go and so many stories that you can write with your involvement, because it is a journey. It requires you to be patient. It requires you to give yourself grace and to stay curious and just take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. As a personal anecdote, I definitely took some time my first year at college to get involved. I had to try out a couple different organizations that I just wasn't quite fitting into before I found my group. I found my people that ended up leading me to different experiences that really made my holistic undergraduate experience and ultimately graduate experience better. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Take a breath and just get excited, go with the flow, and explore. That's what we want you to do. So leadership is a choice, not a rank. The second thing we would like you to remember about your involvement is that your experience will be an opportunity for you to practice leadership. At UNCW, we really truly believe that every student, including every single one of you listening to this today, are capable of practicing leadership. It's not about having a specific title or a position. It is about the desire and the drive to create positive change for our campus and our community. So when you get involved, you take the skills that we mentioned earlier, or that I mentioned earlier, and learn how to apply them towards your passion, towards a better future for all of us. Your choices along your involvement journey should really reflect your values. Pursue opportunities to collaborate with people with similar desires for change and take advantage of the experiences that help you develop the leadership skills needed. This campus will offer you conferences, workshops, retreats, different levels of coaching, and so much more that develop your capacity to make a difference in the ways that are important to you. One example of this is the Emotionally Intelligent Leadership Workshop series. These are open sessions for students to learn about skills related to emotional intelligence and how to use them in their leadership practice. And it's these kinds of opportunities that will bolster your attempt to make a difference here. So just remember that. So Seahawks care, Seahawks give, and Seahawks serve. There is a quote that we, again, collectively, me and my colleagues, really, really appreciate. If serving is below you, leadership is beyond you. I would say that this is absolutely true for our community. Our students aim to serve our campus and local community as a way to be active servants for positive change. You can become a Seahawk that serves through in-class service learning experiences, student organizations that have service-oriented missions, and then also organized service opportunities sponsored by campus. Campus has many partnerships with local organizations where we come together to serve our community. And some of these organizations include Rise Up Community Farm, a local organization providing fresh produce for our community. Another is DC Virgo, UNCW's lab school, serving Wilmington's own population downtown. Another is Miracle League, a recreational sports league serving children and adults with disabilities. One of my favorite events each year is Wings Up for Wilmington. This annual day of service is in September, honors the Seahawks spirit of giving and resilience and recognizes the anniversary of Hurricane Florence's landfall right here in Wilmington. So as you get started with this involvement journey, I really hope you'll kind of keep these three ideas that I just covered in mind. It's never too late to get started or to try something new. Leadership is a choice, not a rank, and you can be a Seahawk who serves while being involved here. So Wavelink, Cork, and Handshake Again, I've kind of covered the previous two, Wavelength and Cork, in the other slides. Again, just remember Wavelength and Cork is for finding student organizations and campus events. Excellent, excellent resource. While our office in CAKE and Campus Life don't oversee Handshake, I definitely wanted to make sure that y'all hear about this platform that's managed by the UNCW Career Center. This is where you'll find on-campus jobs and internship opportunities because, again, from our perspective, student employment is involvement too. So be sure to check out that resource as well if you're looking for any job opportunities. I know Campus Life in particular, since I am a part of that department, we definitely post all of our opportunities on there as well. So just wanted to throw out the Involvement Carnival, really, really exciting opportunity. We as an office are really excited to see it in person again after a couple of years of not being able to hold it. So just be aware that that is happening Tuesday, August 30th. You will have the opportunity to get to meet over 200 student organizations and campus departments that are all going to be welcoming you to get involved with their different areas and opportunities. So it takes place the first Teal Tuesday of the academic year outside on the campus commons. You can kind of see this photo is from a couple years ago, obviously, but that is outside the Fisher Student Center and Fisher University Union and around the amphitheater. So you can just walk around, talk to people, get some free stuff. And it's just a great way to meet friends and find new opportunities. So if you want some more information about this, although it's going to be hard to miss on that day in that area of campus, go on to Wavelength or Cork to find out some more information and more details on that. And finally, kind of shameless plug here, but it's also really important and very, very useful. Be sure to scan this QR code. We know that all of this has been a lot of information we tried to pack when we were putting all this together at the beginning of the summer, a ton of info into like 10 slides. So I understand that it's a lot, but we as a staff and as a community want to meet you where you're at. So just take a minute to scan the QR code. This is going to take you directly to our 7 major social accounts on Instagram. We definitely recommend all students follow at UNC Win, which is UNCW Hawk E News, and then follow others based on your interest areas. Parents can also follow these too if they're curious about them, for sure. Thank you all so much for spending time with us today. I know I say us because I feel the spirit of my colleagues here. This is what we're passionate about. We want y'all to come talk to us if you ever need anything or have questions about how to get involved, because that's what we're here for. We hope you've learned a lot today and really feel inspired to get involved. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to come talk to us. We've got the Campus Life office upstairs in the Fisher University Union, as well again as the Campus Activities and Involvement Center, the CAKE office upstairs in the Fisher Student Center above Einstein. So come talk to us briefly before you go to class on a random day, at the Involvement Carnival, just when you're walking around campus, anytime you'd like. And we're excited to help you get involved. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your orientation, and hope that your move-in goes really, really well, and your first couple of weeks are wonderful at UNCW. Thank you so much, and can't wait to see y'all in person.